Alright, you beautiful peoples of the interwebs, me Glenn here, Cheapskate Gaming News Tech Reviews, and essentially I'm just going to be showing you I've upgraded my Govee backlight on my television. I just wanted to put a little example of the old one to the newer one. Now there are free, I will put them up on the screen somewhere about now. So there's a brand new one which is still over 100 quid. There's the one I've got, but it's not exactly the one I've got, but you can pick up for 40. What I mean by that is I got the one with extra light bars, and I didn't buy it off Amazon. I got it off eBay. Someone was selling one off cheap, so I got that deal. But you can just get the TV one for about 45 quid when it's on a deal, and I'd say wait for the deal. And of course the old original Govee backlight, which I've upgraded from, which I haven't thrown away. I took it off my TV. I've put it on my, actually I put it on my PC monitors, and it's kind of worked out well because I got free PC monitors and it's gone around them, and that one cost me, I think that was about 45 to 50 quid on a deal as well. So essentially what I'm doing here, I'm just going to compare, and you should see it now, there's two separate screens, there's the old and the new, and I've tried to match the footage, so hopefully you're seeing that. So what I'd like to, while the footage is playing, I'll talk about what I prefer about the new one compared to the old one. Now, I don't think the footage really does it that much justice. I only had the brightness set to about 20 or 30%, and there was a reason for that. But let me just say that the newer one, the contrast is a lot better. So what do I mean by that? So essentially, when the screen goes dark, the lights go a lot darker, which the old one sort of didn't do that. The old one always kept pumping out some, or quite a good amount of light. Even on a black screen, it would still pump out like a whitish light. Now, the new one sometimes doesn't push out a white light. It always seems to be a red tint, no matter how much I try to throw it into the blue portion. In the app, you can select a red hue or blue hue or somewhere in the middle. And I've tried to push it towards blue hue, but it still pumps out red light. But I will say the app for the newer one, the T1, is a lot more adjustable. There's a hell of a lot more adjustments. Now, initially I found it quite tricky. Like I say, there was a lot more adjustments, and I just couldn't nail it in at first. But I think in the end, and especially now, I think I've got it nailed in quite nicely. And the little sidebars, well, this comparison is more about the lights behind the television themselves. I'm not really comparing the light bars. Sorry, so they were just something that came with the product when I bought it from eBay. So I do prefer the new one. The camera is okay. Okay, I wouldn't say it's any better or any worse than the old one, but I suppose the main differences between the new one compared to the old one is that when you're setting up the screen, the old one you had to essentially start from one particular corner and go around, and if you're looking at the TV, it was clockwise, so you had to start at the bottom left hand corner, which would be this hand down here on my screen, and then essentially go up and around the screen like that. Where the new one, it doesn't matter, you could literally start this corner, that corner, the corner over there, it doesn't matter, because when you get to the app, it will put a red bar down one side and a blue bar down the top, or vice versa, and essentially you just match the red and blue bars to which one. There's four separate versions you can have. You can have red at top, blue at side, blue at bottom, red at side, and essentially the app will work that out for you. So that's really good, is that it doesn't matter. Once you've got the square around your television, the app sorts that out for you. Now, the app was very similar. In fact, it's the same app as what you were using for the older one, so that's good. I didn't have to download a new app. I just had to search for the device. It found it. Upstairs here, I do sometimes now and again, similar thing, get a little bit of a niggly Wi-Fi connection. Is that because the box is behind the TV? Well, who knows. What I would say though is it upgraded the quality. This is a very good one, is the quality of the actual light strip itself. It now has a rubber coating over the lights. Very pleased with that. The old one, the reason why I changed it is because my cat went behind the TV and bit my old one and essentially damaged it. Fortunately, it was right at the end and I managed to cut it and repair it. So that's one of the reasons why I got the new one. I want to say new one, I said the upgraded version. I'd love to have the newer one, And in fact, they do one for PC, which I really like the look of. It has their latest light strip, which I'll put pictures up of this while I'm talking about it, which has a really sort of what am I looking for? The word I'm looking for. It has a diffuser built in on the strip. That would be fantastic, but that's still, even just for a sort of 32-inch monitor or 43-inch monitor, that's still way over 100 quid, 120 quid just for that particular one. And I believe that still uses the newer camera. The new camera's got two 1080p cameras in it. The T1 and the older one is, I'm not sure what the resolution of the camera is, but they're just a single lens camera. So overall, I'm quite pleased. You can watch the footage here that I've played and make your own choice out of it. But for 45 quid, was it worth the upgrade? Yes, it was. I paid about 65 off eBay for the two light bars as well, but I am enjoying it. And like I say, when my cat broke the one before I fixed it, oh, I tell you what, once you go to Ambilight, it's very hard to not have it as part of your system setup. And maybe in the future, what I did do is when I put this on my telly, I didn't actually stick it on properly. I've basically blue tacked it onto the mat, because eventually, I think next year, so maybe later this year, maybe next year, I'm going to upgrade my TV to a newer television, something. Well, I think I'll keep 65 inches, but I'll look for something that's quite energy efficient. I'm not sure which maker TV I'm going to go for, but I've left myself that option that whatever new TV I get, I'll be able to take the current one that I'm using, Ambilight Govee light system, off, and then probably stick it on properly onto the newer television. Anyway, this has been Glyn, Cheapskate Gaming News and Tech Reviews, and I just thought I'd update you and just give people a sort of a visual experience of the difference between the older ones, the much older one, which I think it's really tricky to get hold of, and the one that came out, I think it was about 2020, 2021, the one I've put on that's come out. But there is a much newer one out, and what I've seen from other people's views is that although it's got the two cameras, it's not that great or that much better. It is better, but it's not much better at picking up the differences in the colours around your television. Anyway, that's me out. I'll leave you with that. Bye now.